No way did they finally do it. Don't miss out on these free Dokkan Fest exclusives. How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video. In today's video, boy, do we have something special. Something I always wished they would do, yet never predicted that they would, and yet the time has finally here. We have the new red dragon stones. These are the god dragon stones available. They were given out at the beginning of this new Christmas celebration. They usually give these things out 3 times a year. In fact, we just got a new one back during Worldwide Celebration, which allowed us to recruit quite a few older Dokkan Festival exclusives. Well, now they went and upped the ante by increasing the lineup from the last time. The last time was really neat because they basically had a special lineup like this, where you get 1 character plus 2 more units, right? So you had the possibility of grabbing one of the future a pack that would give you the Future Saga Vegeta, Fizz Trunks, and I believe the STR Goku, or you could buy a pack that came with the Fizz Goku Black and Tech Fuse Zamasu, which was kind of cool, right? It was a good way to pick up, some of those characters you missed, like, especially if you're a newer player, you probably don't have access to any of these characters. So it was a nice way to pick them up along with some double units. Well, they've took it a step further, and now they've added the Android 21, who, while not a Dokkan Fest exclusive, is an easy-able unit, and combining her with 2 other Android units. This 18 is actually pretty good, honestly. And this 16, when he procs his guard, it's actually alright, too. So, kind of crazy here that they went ahead and did this, but they even went further than this. Now you can pick up one of the Dokkan Fest exclusives all the way up to the 120 leads. These guys were previously not available at all. In fact, just on the most recent available blue Dragon Stone were they made available to purchase there. Now they are on the free Dragon Stone that we get more than once a year, right? I think 3 times total we usually get this. So I'm going to go over kind of who I think are the top 3 choices to pick with this Dragon Stone, right? You only get 1 shot, and you want to make it count. So first and foremost, there's a whole lot here. A lot of these guys, while have aged out from the current meta, they are, however, usable to newer players, right? They'll help you awaken your units, get done what you need to get done, so you can clear events and awaken characters. You can use them for filler in some of the easier missions of some of the lower raids, red zones, right? Or even some of these other high difficulty events that aren't quite red zone level. These guys can take it. So in terms of 120 leads, I recommend, right? The 120 leads are STR Goku all the way down to the Fizz Cooler. They basically lead their their typings extreme or super for 120. 130 once easy aid. So in terms of 120, I think the best choice for the 120 leads, honestly, out of all of them, is probably this guy here, the Android Super 17. I think out of the 120s in the current meta, he's probably aged the best. He has a nice partner with the STR 17, and he can kind of hold his own, right? As a 3rd slot floater, being able to get sort of a lot of that build up and greatly raise his attack and defense, he can easily protect himself, right? Once he gets his full damage reduction built up, right? To add on to that, right, he can deal a bit of damage after his 2nd hit or so, just because of the way his critical hit build up works and the fact that he is greatly raising attack. So I would say out of the 120 leads, he's probably your best shot. He's going to do the most for you. That isn't to say any other choice here is necessarily bad out of the given choices. It just, he's probably got the most staying power out of all of them. Outside of the 120s, I think one of your best choices that I think is going to carry you super far, and it's really a toss-up between the number 1 and number 2 choice between this guy and the other character, right, is this guy here. the Tech Golden Frieza. Well, not as good as his AGL LR counterpart or his AGL TUR counterpart. He's still pretty good, and he does what he needs to do well, right? He reduces damage by 80%, and, you know, while his defense is on the lower side for the current meta, it's still enough to give him some staying power to kind of help you fill out some of these teams that he's needed on, like Resurrected Warriors, especially if you don't have the AGL LR, right? Battle of Fate, Wicked Bloodline. Wicked Bloodline needs good slot 1 units, and while he's not going to be doing any wonders in major red zones, he will still kind of fill out what needs to be filled out for the likes of LR Cooler and other powerful Terrifying Conquerors slash Wicked Bloodline characters. So I definitely think he is a top pick in that regard. Outside of that, look, I mean, I hate to keep coming back to this. Well, I don't. I mean, there's a reason this guy continues to make this list after all of this. And, you know, that's why I say it's a top spot, because I think Golden Frieza is very, very useful. And for that same reason that he is useful, this guy is still very useful on superclass teams, especially if you're a newer player trying to clear events. If you can easy A any one of these guys, and by the way, they start in their TUR pre-easy aid awakened status, so it's, you know, it's gonna be pretty easy to get them to where you need. This guy stands still above the rest for what he's doing. Like the Golden Frieza, he's reducing damage for 80% for 10 turns, and more than likely, you know, you should be able to clear most events within 10 turns. There's a few that you can't as a newer player, and of course we understand that, but I mean, he's still going to carry you far. I remember when I first got into the game, granted it was the 2020 meta, he still helped me ever so much, even uneasy aid. Once I was able to finally easy A him, he carried me through a lot of content, just giving me that slot 1 unit I needed on these super class teams to get through the events, right? Because this was before slot 1 units were very, very prevalent, so he's very helpful. So, I mean, there's a lot to choose from. At the end of the day, you know, what's best for your box is probably what you're missing, but if I had to pick a top 3 choices, number 3 is probably the AGL Android 17, number 2, the Golden Frieza, and then number 1, Reign Supreme with the STR Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. He has just had so much staying power for, you know, newer players as they come in. He's always got a slot to help you there, and that's kind of why I continue to put him there, realistically. I mean, it's important to remember as you go through this list, like, this list of characters is designed for new players or medium players, or just to help other people fill out their boxes for characters they may have been missing throughout the time. Like me personally, I'm probably going to grab Janemba or Broly because they're or AGL Black because they're the only ones I'm missing, right? So I'll probably grab one of the 3, to be completely honest. So guys, that is it for the video. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let me know, who did you choose with your red Dragonstone? Any one of these guys, or are you somebody who didn't need anything and you just grabbed the Elder Kais? Let me know in the comments down below. Like I said, I am probably going for the AGL Goku Black or the Janemba because they are one of the 2 big ones that I'm missing. But guys, if nothing else, thanks for watching, and aloha.